Welcome to the summer constellation Sagittarius. It's easy to find and has wonderful targets within it. This video will help you recognize Sagittarius and show you when and where to look for it. This is Touring the Night Sky with Zachary Singer. Sagittarius is historically thought of as an archer. Here's his body, head on top, outstretched bow arm, notice the curve, and the point of his arrow. The constellation's origin as the archer goes back far more than 2,000 years, but these days you'll more likely hear a reference to the teapot. Here's the teapot body, its spout, handle, and of course, the top of the teapot or lid. To find Sagittarius, you'll need a clear horizon because it's low in the sky for most of the United States and similar latitudes. You'll find the constellation about 20 degrees up and due south at 10 p.m. in August, a bit to the east early in the month, a bit to the west toward September. Also, farther west later in the evening. By the way, note Scorpius just to the west on our chart. It will help you find Sagittarius. If you're not familiar with Scorpius, we've got a video. Sagittarius Teapot covers a much smaller width across the sky than Scorpius does. Sagittarius is only about the size of a thumbs up sign when you hold out your fist horizontally on your outstretched arm. That's half the size of Scorpius. If you go out on a starlit night without the moon or city lights to mess up the view, a southward look will show you something like this, a whitish glow brightest near the horizon and arcing upward over your head. This is what the camera sees, this oval-shaped ball, the very center of our Milky Way. The dark area is a dust lane, raw material for new stars, and you can see this with your naked eyes. The glow is so far away that it took light 30,000 years to get here. Even at that distance, we're orbiting the glow, and we're moving at 500,000 miles per hour to do it. 500,000! The constellation we're looking for, Sagittarius, is right in the middle of it all. Remember, you don't need anything beyond your eyeballs to see this under a dark country sky. Now that we're here in Sagittarius and we know how to find it, let's check out some of the objects we can see. Our first target is a magnificent showpiece Messier 22, or more simply, M22. It's a globular cluster, a huge sphere filled with over 100,000 stars kept together by their mutual gravity. Like the globulars we saw in Scorpius, M22 orbits the center of our Milky Way, so it's no coincidence that we find it in this part of the sky, so close to our galaxy's center. Here's where you'll find it. Just to the east of the star Caus Borealis, also known as Lambda Sagittarii, or more easily, the top of the teapot. If you center the star in your finder scope or binoculars, M22 may appear in the field. If not, a small jump eastward will put it in view. If you have a telescope, make sure to see this. M22 is really something in just about any instrument. For our second target, let's turn our attention to the teapot's spout and imagine steam puffing out. That's not a stretch because the Milky Way looks like that steam. Follow it upwards for about the spout's height until you find this glowing area here. This is the Lagoon Nebula, also known as Messier 8 or just M8. On our star chart, it looks like it would be hard to pick out, but in a dark country sky, it's an obvious patch of light in the Milky Way. Even in a telescope, you'll only see the brightest part here, but it's a very fine object. The nickname, Lagoon Nebula, comes from this darker patch. In a telescope, it appears like a dark lake or lagoon. This nebula is a huge star-forming region, as are all nebulae like this. Look at all the stars already glowing here. You can see these in your telescope too. Many more are hidden within the nebula, obscured by the cloud's dust and gas. Here's a close-up of part of it. On the left, a visible light image. On the right, an infrared one. Our eyes can't see these hidden stars, but astronomers' instruments can. Let's take a moment and combine these two images so you can see how they compare to each other. While we're still on the Lagoon Nebula, let me mention a similar structure right next door, the famous Trifid Nebula, Messier or M20. It's known for its well-defined central dark lanes, and it makes a great target for larger telescopes. The two objects here are so close in the sky that if you have M8 centered in your telescope's finder scope, M20 will be in it too. Look for M20's cluster of stars to help you notice it. There are many more objects in this area. It's really something. But again, even if all the gear you've got is your own eyeballs, this part of the sky is a must-see in a good dark location. You'll be amazed when you experience it. Clear skies, my friends.